Hi everyone, it's Monday, the last day of the Global Showdown competition, and right now in UTC, it's 3:52 where I am, but it's really 8:52, so I have about 3 more hours for some more battles. You're about to see some battles from as early as Saturday, but most of them are actually from today, Monday, because I've been battling almost all day today for fun, and I've actually started to go up in rankings. I was stuck in the 1400s rating-wise for a while, but somehow I've managed to climb into the 1500s. I'm continually going up because I've developed a good consistent strategy that you'll see in a lot of the later battles in this video, which involves my Palkia, my Deoxys, and my Marowak. Marowak's a pretty good unexpected Pokemon, and I've learned that in this tournament, a lot of it's not about preparing the Pokemon with the best stats or the best movesets. It's really about being unpredictable. Whenever you're planning for these tournaments, don't plan like you're in a regular competitive Pokemon battle. Prepare for the unexpected. Now let's watch some battles. Alright, here's another good match I had against a French guy named Lobo. I lead with my Deoxys as normal, and he leads with Bisharp. Unfortunately, I don't have anything good against Bisharp on this Deoxys, as I only have Dark Pulse, Psycho Boost, Ice Beam, and Trick Room. So I go for the Trick Room first turn, which is a good move because Sucker Punch doesn't work. Then I switch out next turn immediately into Marowak because it has Bone Meringue. And he goes for the Sucker Punch again, and it still does nothing. And I was worried he was going to go for it again, but he doesn't. And I'm able to use Bone Meringue and take out Bisharp. The big good thing about Bone Meringue is that it hits twice, so even Focus Sash users aren't safe from it. Then he gets in a good switch, and he sends out his shiny Dragonite, which looks really cool. I like the green color. I go for the Stone Edge, and I do decent damage, but not quite enough to knock it out because Dragonite is pretty bulky. It goes for the Outrage, and despite the physical bulk of Marowak, Outrage still does really well against it. It's a Life Orb Dragonite, so it's super strong. I send out Deoxys, and because Trick Room is still in effect, Dragonite is much slower than Deoxys, so it's able to go first. Which puts me down to 1 HP, but I hang on with the Focus Sash. I then go for the Ice Beam and take out Dragonite. And then the Twisted Dimensions return to normal, which I thought was a good thing, but he sends out his Terrakion, which I believe is Choice Scarf, and he goes for the Rock Slide. And he outspeeds my Deoxys, even though Deoxys is a huge speed stat. So it's definitely got a choice item of some sort. I send out Palkia. I'm trying to go for the Surf so I can take it out, but he goes for the Rock Slide and gets it in first, and I flinch. Try and go for Surf again, but Rock Slide outspeeds it and hits both times despite its low accuracy, and I lose. But it was still a pretty good, cool, good match. Alright, here goes another battle from the Global Showdown. I really have to give this guy credit because his team is really unique. I start out with my Deoxys as usual, and he leads with Cradilly, which is a grass and rock type. I always got that mixed up back in the day. I just go for the Ice Beam, which manages to take it out first turn, which is nice. And then and he swaps into his Sharpedo, and I wanted to avoid a Sharknado, and I go for the Trick Room, and he goes for the Protect, and I was wondering why exactly, but it's a Speed Boost Sharpedo, which I believe is its Dream World ability, so it's special. I swap into my Marowak, because the Speed Boost will actually make it slower and slower. It goes for the Night Slash to take out Deoxys, but Marowak survives it. Figured out it's a Life Orb Sharpedo. I go for the Thunder Punch the next turn, and it goes down because of its frail defenses. If you watched my Carvana in the White 2 run, you know how frail they are. And then he sends out Staraptor, which lowers my attack with Intimidate, but I still managed to get the Stone Edge in and take it out. So I got a nice Trick Room sweep off that one. But I feel like he had a really unique team, and I just had to show that. Props to you, brother. Alright, so this battle was insane. This guy had a really good strategy. He was ranked pretty high, too. He has a Smeargle lead with its Dream World ability of Moody, which is banned in basic competitive play because of how scary it can be. I lead with my Deoxys as usual, and I try and set up my Trick Room, but Smeargle outspeeds me and uses Spore because Smeargle's speed is amazing. Then it uses Moody, and attack raises and defense falls. Then it uses Shell Smash the next turn, which is also a crazy move because it sharply erases the attack and special attack even more. And speed. And I'm staying asleep. Then his accuracy goes up, and I'm just thinking that I'm pretty much dead from here, especially with the baton pass to Dragonite this turn. I'm just thinking I'm so dead right now. But, however, this next turn, the Dragonite uses extreme speed, and Deoxys wakes up. And at this point I'm able to utilize my Trick Room strategy. And from here I'm really expecting to lose, but I'm just trying anyway. I went for the Ice Beam, thinking that maybe I'd outspeed the Dragonite in the Trick Room, but it has extreme speed, which is a priority move, and it goes first anyway. Then I send out Marowak, just hoping that its defense is somehow good enough to survive the extreme speed, and I barely survive it. So I go for the Stone Edge, which luckily hits, and I take out the Dragonite. And at this point I was freaking out because I didn't think I'd be able to do that. Then he sends out his Smeargle again, and because Trick Room is still in effect, I still outspeed it, and I go for Bone Meringue, which hits twice and takes it out. And then he sends out his Dialga, and luckily Trick Room is still in effect. If it wasn't, I'd probably be dead at this point. I go for the Bone Meringue and take it out. Good match. Okay, I was sweating when I had this battle. It was intense. This guy's rank is in the 1800s. I lead with my Deoxys as normal, and he also has a Deoxys, but his is speed form. So I start off just deciding to go with the Trick Room because I figured we both had Dark Pulse, Focus Sash sets. So I go for the Trick Room and it goes into effect. But then I decided switching into Marowak would be too risky because his Deoxys is also specially based. It could probably one-hit KO Marowak. So I got it down to 1 HP. And then it uses Thunder Wave to paralyze my Deoxys. And at this point I just swap out to Marowak, just hoping he won't attack this turn. And luckily, he just goes for the Stealth Rock setup, but that means I can't send out my Deoxys again. It'll instantly fade. So I just go for the Bone Meringue and take out Deoxys. And he sends out his Arceus. And I just continue going for the Bone Meringue because I have STAB on it. And I'm just hoping for a critical hit or something. It uses Recover. It's a pretty bulky Arceus. The Trick Room ends, which is a pretty bad sign, but he Sword Stances the next turn. So I get another Bone Meringue in. Doesn't quite knock it out yet. Next turn he recovers again. Seems he's getting in trying to get in a good setup right now. I go for Bone Meringue one more time, and his HP goes down drastically. Then the next turn it extreme speeds. And I barely survived that thanks to Marowak's great defense, and I take out Arceus. And then he sends out his Mewtwo, which is his last Pokemon. Super strong legendary. I was pretty afraid at this point what would happen. I try and go for Bone Meringue, but he takes me out with Psy Strike first turn. It's a Life Orb Mewtwo. And as a joke, just to see what would happen, I send out my Deoxys and just watch it faint instantly from Stealth Rock. Pretty funny. Then I send out Palkia. But he was really confused about that Deoxys switch out. He goes for the Psy Strike and manages to outspeed my pretty fast Palkia, and I barely survive it. I go for the Spatial Rend, just hoping it might knock it out, and it only goes into the red. Next turn it uses Psy Strike, takes out Palkia, and I lose the match. And the Life Orb damage doesn't quite take out Mewtwo. So that was a pretty crazy match. I expect to see that guy towards the top of the charts by the end of this thing.
Okay, I'm stopping this speed up montage right now because Ack Whack Whack is the greatest foreign name ever. Okay.
Marrow Whack Sweep!